Hey everybody, today we're going to talk about fretting notes on the guitar. Now it may seem to you like there's not a lot to say about this topic, but actually I think that there's three things that most beginners miss about the technique of pushing a string down against the fret. These three things will help you sound better, give you better stamina. Okay, let's go over the first thing. You want to keep your finger as close to the fret as you possibly can. Now what I mean by that is if you're trying to play a note on the second fret, let's say of the high E string like I'm doing here, you want to keep your finger right next to the fret, like nestled right up into that corner between the fret and the fingerboard. Now the advantage of doing this is that the closer you are to the fret, the less finger pressure it takes to make the note ring true, to make the note ring without buzzing. If you fret way back here, that same amount of finger pressure results in a buzzy note. You can hear it even more when you get to the thicker strings, like here. That's nice and clear. But back here, same pressure, I get a buzz. So if I play further away from the fret, I have to apply more pressure with my fingers to get the note not to buzz. More on the pressure a little bit later. But what is interesting to me now and what's important for you is that more pressure means more energy you have to exert to get the note to ring out, which means that you need to have stronger hands to play the guitar, which your strength will develop over time, but we want to make sure that every bit of strength you have now is being useful to you. So keep your finger as close to the fret as you can and you'll be able to play longer and you'll sound better, so that's a double bonus. So that's the first tip, keep your finger close to the fret. The second tip is you don't want to keep your finger so close to the fret that your finger actually creeps over the fret. Like here, I'm going back to the second fret of the high E string, and if I play right next to the fret, it's very clear. But if I play over the fret a little bit, where I let my finger creep over that fret, I get this sound. It's still the same note, but it's muted. And that's because some of my finger flesh is on the wrong side of the fret. It's on the vibrating side of the fret. Okay? So we don't want to inhibit the vibration of the string at all, unless we're doing it on purpose, and that's a totally different technique. But we wouldn't do it with this hand. We do it with this hand. Okay? So when we're fretting, always, always, always make sure you keep your finger just to the left of the fret, if you're a right-handed player, but not over the fret at all. No part of your finger should be going over the fret onto the right side of the fret, okay? That way we get a nice, clean, resonant note. Okay, so that's your second tip. Don't let your finger creep over the fret. All right, now the third one is super important, and it's one that's not very often talked about. If you press the string too hard, you make the note go sharp. Hear that? Doesn't matter which string I'm on. If I apply too much pressure, the note will go sharp. And if the note goes sharp, that means we're not playing in tune, which is super important. We always want to make sure that our guitar is in tune and that we are using techniques that keep the notes in tune. So if you apply too much pressure with your fingers, you're going to make the note go sharp and they're not going to sound in tune. Now, this especially applies to when you're playing chords. I'm going to form a D chord here, and if I apply too much pressure, you can hear the chord go out of tune. And we don't want that, right? We want to sound musical, like that. Not like this. All right? So that's the third tip, is make sure you're not applying too much pressure. Only apply enough pressure to the string to make it ring buzz-free and clear. Okay? So those are your three tips. Your first tip is keep your finger close to the fret. Second tip is make sure your finger doesn't go over the fret. And the third tip is do not apply too much pressure, otherwise the note will go sharp. Okay guys, that's everything you need to know about fretting notes on the guitar. I hope this helps and good luck.